She comforted a stranger crying on the bus. The next day, a helicopter landed in her yard. But before we dive in, leave a comment and let us know where you are watching from today. And if this story speaks to you, hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories. The city bus hissed as it pulled to a stop under the gray drizzle of a Monday afternoon. Elena Carter, 29, tucked her umbrella tighter under her arm and stepped inside. Her shift at the diner had ended late, her feet ached and her jacket was damp. She was in no mood for small talk, just wanted to get home to her dog, microwave dinner and silence. But halfway through the ride something shifted. A quiet sobbing sound came from the very back of the bus. At first Elena ignored it. People cry all the time in this city. You mind your business and keep your head down. But something about the sound, the gasping, the way it seemed to fight through clenched teeth, hit her. She turned her head. A man, maybe mid-30s, sat hunched in the corner seat. His tailored coat soaked at the collar. Face hidden behind his hands. Crying like someone who had lost everything. People stared, then looked away. But Elena got up. She walked to the back and sat across from him. Quiet. Present. You okay? She asked softly. The man didn't look up right away. When he finally did, his eyes were red, but his jaw was sharp, like he wasn't someone used to breaking down in public. I'm sorry, he muttered. I didn't mean to cause a scene. You didn't, she said gently. Whatever it is, you don't have to explain. Just know someone sees you. He looked at her for a long moment. Thank you, he whispered. That means more than you know. And with that he got off at the next stop. Elena never got his name. Didn't think she'd ever see him again. But the next morning, a sound shook her quiet neighborhood, the heavy thump of helicopter blades. She ran outside in her robe, heart racing. The chopper was descending into her yard. And stepping out of it was the man from the bus. Elena Carter? The man called out over the roar of the blades. She nodded, stunned. Her neighbors stood in driveways, gaping. Children pressed their faces to windows. The man stepped forward, now in a crisp suit, flanked by 2 security personnel. I owe you more than an apology, he said, voice clear but calm. And an explanation. Elena blinked. I don't understand. He extended a hand. My name is Grant Ashford, CEO of Ashford International. She nearly choked. You're that Ashford? He nodded. Yesterday was the anniversary of my wife's death. I hadn't spoken to anyone in days. I got on that bus thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. But you, he stopped, voice tightening, you looked at me like I was still human. That saved me. I didn't do anything, Elena said quietly. You did everything, he replied. He gestured to one of the men behind him, who stepped forward with a sleek folder. I'd like to offer you a full scholarship. You mentioned once during your ride that you wanted to go back to school for social work. We can make that happen. Any school, full tuition. And he turned, pulling something else from his coat. I'm also launching a foundation in my wife's name to support mental health access for underserved communities. I want you to help me build it. You've got more heart than anyone I've met in years. Elena stared at him, overwhelmed. This is insane, she whispered. No, he said with a soft smile. What's insane is a world where kindness like yours goes unnoticed. The neighbors gasped again, not at the offer, but at the second helicopter now approaching. Except this one didn't have a logo. And Grant's expression suddenly changed. Get inside, he said. Now. The second helicopter hovered above, sleek and dark, with tinted windows and no visible insignia. Grant's security team immediately snapped into formation. Elena stood frozen on her porch steps. What is going on? Grant stepped in front of her. I didn't tell you everything. Yesterday wasn't just the anniversary of my wife's death. He hesitated. She was murdered. The air felt like it had been pulled from the sky. I wasn't just grieving. I was being watched. Followed. My wife stumbled onto something, corruption inside one of our subsidiaries. She recorded it, and the people she exposed? They're still out there. Yesterday I thought I'd cracked. But this morning we intercepted a message. They saw me on that bus. With you. The chopper began to land, only this time not in her yard. Across the street. Doors opened. Men in black coats stepped out, scanning the block. Grant turned to Elena. I'm sorry. You're involved now. She felt her knees weaken. What What do they want? Silence, he said grimly. They think you know something. I don't, she cried. You do now. He turned to his head of security. Evac plan. Now. Before she could argue, someone handed her a jacket. Another man swept her dog into a carrier, and she was ushered toward the waiting car behind the gate. As the car sped away, Elena looked back, her entire life shrinking behind her in the rearview mirror. One act of kindness on a rainy bus ride. And now she was at the center of a corporate conspiracy worth billions. But what she didn't know yet was that she had something no one else did. The missing piece of Grant's wife's recording. A simple object she didn't realize she had picked up, until it started to buzz inside her coat pocket. Elena fumbled through her coat pocket, heart pounding. Something small, metallic and vibrating rested at the bottom. He pulled it out. A silver USB stick. Thick. Unmarked. It hadn't been hers. She remembered now. On the bus when Grant had stood up to leave, something had fallen from his coat. She'd scooped it up instinctively, planning to return it. But then he was gone and she'd forgotten all about it. He'll know. Grant's eyes went wide when he saw it. That's it, he whispered. That's her drive. What's on it? He took it carefully from her hand, almost reverently. My wife Cassandra. She recorded everything. Board meetings. Secret transactions. Conversations she wasn't supposed to hear. She kept it all hidden on this, her insurance policy. But after she died, it vanished. I thought they destroyed it. And now they know you have it, Elena said, her voice shaking. He nodded. And they'll do anything to get it back. The car raced down the highway, the city growing distant in the rearview. Grant clutched the USB drive like it was made of gold. I need to decrypt it, he said. My wife had a password system, coded in song lyrics only she and I knew. Elena hesitated. What happens if they catch us? Grant looked at her seriously. Then we don't get to finish what she started. And a lot more people will suffer. He turned to his security lead. Get us to the safe house in Vermont. No stops. Elena leaned back, her whole body tense. Less than 24 hours ago she'd been a waitress on a bus. Now she was carrying the key to a billion-dollar conspiracy. And people were willing to kill for it. The safe house was hidden deep in the Vermont mountains, surrounded by evergreens with a steel gate and security drones humming in the snow-covered trees. Elena and Grant were ushered into the command room. Screens, encrypted servers, a locked vault in the corner. Grant handed the USB to a technician. Run diagnostics. See if the main files are intact. She used voice-activated encryption, so we'll need my input. Elena sat on the edge of a leather chair, heart still racing.